Today, I'm turning a simple panel of hard maple into something that means a whole lot more than wooden glue. This CNC carve ran for nearly 9 hours, generated over 1 million lines of code, and one mistake would have meant starting completely over. But this just isn't another shop project. This is a memorial carving for a friend, a portrait of his mom carved from a single photograph. Let's see if we can turn a block of maple into something that lasts a lifetime.
Welcome to Engraverworks. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you do, please like, subscribe, and comment.
Welcome back to Engraverworks. If this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. On this channel, I work on old machines, restorations, and whatever other shop projects I happen to get myself into. Today's video is a little different. This one is personal. I'm creating a CNC router memorial engraving for a friend, a carving based on a photograph of his mom. Projects like this mean a lot to me. It's not just wooden tooling, it's something that will hang on a wall and carry real memories. So let's get started. Everything starts with the wood. For this project, I'm using hard maple. Maple engraves beautifully. It's tight grain, strong, and takes detail really well. It's also light in color, which makes carved shadows stand out nicely. To create the panel, I glue up several boards using Titebond 3. I like Titebond 3 because it gives a little more extra open time and it creates a strong bond. To clamp everything together, I use my self-made 4-way clamps. These clamps apply pressure from multiple directions, helping keeping the panel flat during glue up. That's important because the flatter your panel is at this stage, the less work you'll have to do later. After applying the glue evenly and clamping everything down, I let the panel sit for 24 hours. No rushing this part. The next day, I remove the clamps and inspect the panel carefully. I'm looking for glue gaps, warpage, misalignment, any defects that could cause problems during the carving. If there's an issue at this stage, now is the time to fix it. Once this goes on to CNC, it needs to be right. Thankfully, this panel came out solid and flat. The next step is flattening the panel. I clamp the panel to my CNC router bed and install a surfacing bit into the router. Even if a glue up looks flat, it's almost never perfectly flat. And when you're doing detailed engraving, flatness matters. I make very light passes, just enough to clean up the surface. I'm removing the bare minimum amount of material to create a clean, smooth face. Once one side is done, I unclamp the panel, flip it over, and repeat the process on the other side. After both sides are surfaced, I measure the thickness. If needed, I'll make a few more light passes to hit the final thickness I'm aiming for. Precision here makes everything else easier. Now we get into the engraving. With the panel still clamped down, I install a 60-degree V-bit into the spindle. This bit is perfectly sharp for clean lettering. I set my tool height carefully. This part is critical. If your height is off, your engraving depth will be inconsistent and not look very good. I load the program and begin routing the engraved wording on the panel. Now here's where it becomes more art than science. Sometimes I'll start shallow and slowly increase the depth on additional runs until I get the look I'm after. Other times I'll commit to a final depth and run the program once. Since I'm new to engraving work, I take my time. One mistake here means starting over from scratch. Remember, there's no undo button when you're cutting into maple. When I'm satisfied with how the lettering looks, it's time to move on to the main carving. To begin the image carving, I install a 1/4 inch end mill for the roughing pass. The roughing cut removes the bulk of the material and starts shaping the image. It's not detailed yet, it just establishes the form. This roughing pass took about an hour. You can start to see the image take shape at this stage, but it still looks blocky and stepped. That's where the finishing pass comes in. For the finishing cut, I install a ball nose bit. This is what brings the detail to life. I set the depth carefully, load the finishing program, and start the carve. Now here's something interesting. Because of the very small step over used for the fine detail, this finishing program generates over 1 million lines of code. What does that really mean? It means this machine is going to be running for a long time. In this case, the finish cut ran about 8 hours. 8 hours of slow, careful carving. This is where patience pays off. The smaller the step over, the smoother the finish and the more detailed the image. I usually let the machine run while I work on other shop projects, but I always keep an eye and an ear on it. When it finally finishes, that's when you really see the image come to life. Once the carve is complete, I remove the panel from the CNC bed. Sometimes I'll do a little sanding while it's still clamped down, but most of the sanding happens after removal. Sanding a detailed carving takes time. You have to be careful not to round over details or lose sharp edges. I focus on cleaning up any fuzz, softening sharp transitions, smoothing the background. Maple can get a little fuzzy during carving, so a light touch is important. With the sanding complete, it's time for finishing. I start by applying stain. The stain helps bring out contrast in the carving. Darker areas settle into the recesses, which makes the image pop. After the stain dries, I apply a poly coat for protection. This not only seals the wood, but also enhances the depth of the carving. Once everything is fully cured, I finish it off with a coat of wax. The wax adds a soft sheen and smooth feel to the final piece. When it's all done, you can step back and look at it, and that's when you remember why you take your time. This isn't just a carving, it's a memory. It's something that's going to mean a lot to someone, and that's what makes projects like this worth the long hours and careful setup. I hope you enjoyed today's video on this memorial CNC carving. If you did, please feel free to leave a comment, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. I've got more shop projects, restorations, and machine work coming up soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Thank you for watching Graberworks, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like the video, please give a thumbs up, subscribe for future videos, and comment. Thanks again.